Actually, the BMP was a very small part. So do you want to proceed with BGP and the DCloud XRB stuff, or you want to listen to the BMP?
We can probably just show the slides just to
right.
yeah, it'll take 2 minutes.
Yeah.
There's probably no point in showing the demo that we're running, but
yeah.
Yeah, so BMP really what it's about. I mean, basically the issue is if you remember, So I guess if you remember back to when we were talking about adjacent ribbons and effective ribbons and all that stuff. So the issue is normally when you BGP peer with somebody, all you can get is what's in his locked rib. Now with BMP, it gives you access to your peer's adjacent ribbon and effective ribbon. And if you think about it, that can be very powerful for things like peering points, where you might want to get information about all of the possible paths, not just the ones that you've picked as the best paths. And so BMP lets you do that. Of course, the challenge of it becomes that you can get an awful lot of prefixes, because if you're doing BMP to a router and that router's getting, say, full BGP feeds from multiple upstreams, you would now be seeing all of the routes it's getting, not just the ones it's picked as best. And I guess where it comes in is analytics. I mean, the clue's in the name with it's BGP monitoring protocol. So it's really a way you can use to learn what's going on in the network. And so back to that kind of loop we had before, BMP would definitely be on the kind of learning stuff about the network side, but then you might use BGP to do stuff as a result of that. So it's quite a, it's a very useful technology for things. And yeah, the installation is very much the same as the rest of it. I mean, you just do this ODL BGP set BMP. In terms of config, again, I've never configured it because you can change the port it runs on, but then why bother? Because if you're setting up XR, for example, as a BMPP, you just put the port in on XR, so no need to change it on ODL. Yeah, that's it. Yep. I guess flow spec, we should quickly show that.
Question?
Yeah, sure.
What pieces of equipment out on the network support BMP?
XR does and Junos does, I think. I'm not sure if Brocade support it. Okay, yeah. I mean, it basically came out of the IDR working group in the IETF. So it was, actually, no, it was GROW, I think, the operations guy. So it was saying, what are the tools we need that we don't currently have for monitoring what's going on? And so on that basis, you would expect to see implementation on the high-end SP routers first before you'd see it on, your, you're not going to see it on your home Linksys router anytime soon.
Does anybody know something like Quagga supports it?
Don't know.
Yeah, I think there was support.
But it's pretty straightforward. In terms of the protocol, it's really just BGP, TLVs, et cetera, with a little bit of a wrap around it so that you can see who the peer is and what version of software is running and that kind of stuff.
I was thinking along the lines of if you wanted to build a small test bed.
Okay, yeah. XRV is your friend for a lot of this.
I can't get high-end routers for testing.
You can get XRV, though, because
Okay.
it's just a software implementation of XR. And again, with DCloud, you can set it up in DCloud. Should we do flow spec? And again, probably not time to, I thought that was down at the bottom. Was it flow spec?
Bottom. Okay.
Yeah, again, probably not time to demo it, but flow spec is just another address family, or 2 more address families, because there's V4 flow spec and V6 flow spec. And all flow spec is really is a way of doing Openflow-ish stuff using BGP. So you can leverage your whole route reflector infrastructure, and all the matches, of course, are IP-based because it's sitting on top of IP now, so you're not doing Ethernet matching. And then, again, various actions can be taken. The actions are all encoded as BGP communities, or extended communities, isn't that, I think? And there's actually a couple of guys here who've played with it and got it working, which is probably more than I've done. So and I guess in terms of use cases, I'm going to be talking use cases a bit on Wednesday morning. There's a session on BGP. And the use case for flow spec, a classic one is DDoS mitigation. Or it could be sort of stuff like transparent proxy redirection, those kind of things. Cool, do you want to do the DCloud stuff then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
let's do it.
sure. Okay. So we can quickly move back to the DCloud if you still have the controller running. And You can close the XR BGP if you still have it running, doesn't matter. So we need to first change the 41 BGP XML file so it can connect to the DCloud. So you can see the IP of SJC node. So this IP will be the BGP peer we want to connect through the OpenDaylight. So again, as we have showed before, basically change this one, 41 XML file, and change the host, replace it with the IP of the DCloud SJC node. And we can comment out this XR BGP node. And here for the BGP RIP ID, we want to change that to the IP of the VPN, which is the controller IP. This one. So actually right now we can log into the SJC router and see that's the existing BGP configuration on the XRB. You can see the AS number here is 5504, so we also want to change that to match it. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. And this one, the 198.18.180, that's the IP of the controller sitting in the DCloud. So we want to replace that with our local controller. Basically, so first we can, at the same time, save this file and stops controller and wait it to be finished. And we can configure this part first. So enter the configuration of the BGP. Also, we need to change this one. It doesn't matter if you do not negative that. You can just leave this here. The point is you need to configure this XRV to connect to the ODL. So yeah. So we are keeping exactly the same configuration, just to change the IP so it connects to the local controller instead of the controller in the DCloud. kind of frozen here. Seems like we lost connection on that other session. Okay, it's saved. So let's start the controller. So there's one controller already started in the DCloud, and it's pairing with the controller in DCloud. Because of the demo, we want to use our local controller.
Yeah, so basically, we just wanted the users to just configure.
Yeah.
That's the reason we introduced our own developer. So yes, wanted to.
Okay, so that's why you configure the router
Yeah.
to this local.
That's correct. Yes.
What will happen that a router is connected to the two controllers?
That's nothing. It's an optional case. So basically, you can just keep it like as or you can just
I think it's still taking some time to load the routes.
can you check show me?
Okay.
Show BGP summary.
What's the command? What?
Summary.
Oh, okay.
Drill it to the. Yeah, so it hasn't come up. What do you see on your PC?
Oh, you know what? We have the initiate connection policy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me double check that.
Make sure it is configured as
Oh, this one, right. So let me restart it again. Yeah. So right now you can see all the BGP routes, which is pushed from the XRV to the ODL. That is the rib of the ODL. And now we can actually inject the route with application peer. So let's see if we already have that configured. Okay, let me see.
This is the sample of the link state information, how it,
Yeah.
it learned the topology from OSP and we wish to create the BGP and the controller is able to learn. Sorry, ISS, not OSP.
Yeah. So there are a lot of link station information here because there are a lot of routes in the XRV DCloud.
For every link, there is a source transmission point and destination transmission point information mentioned.
So if you look at the BGP XRV tutorial, you can find an example of how to configure the application peer. So unfortunately, we still need to change the 41 XML file. So this one, we just need to copy paste the whole stuff. So the only thing we need to change here is the IP. So this IP still need to be the IP of the controller. So it marks the BGP ID of the application peer. So you can just paste it after the BGP rib.
This is the application rib that we pasted that we use to inject the routes.
Yeah. Still restart it to load it. Okay. So in the craft log, you can actually see the BGP negotiation already happened here, so should be up. So let's check the rep. BGP rep. Okay, how? Right now we are ready to inject the route with the application peer. So you can find the route folder on the Postman collection we give out in the GitHub. If you display the existing routes, there should be none. Right now, we can insert one IPv4 unicast route. So this is the route we are going to insert, send. And you can see here, these routes are already inserted. And we can actually check that on the XRV.
That also is from the config data, that's what is shown the SDN.
Yeah. So this one is actually config.
Can you check from the operational data?
Yeah. Let me double check.
No, it's not there.
No, no. You don't need the application, just the still have application.
Okay.
Yeah, they should give you the operation.
Yeah, let me search that actually. Yeah, so here's the one we injected. So checking the XRV here, cancel. No. Actually, P4 unicast. So we can actually show the enable directly. So that's the IP route we inject through the ODL. And we can also inject IPv6. That's the same thing. But before you inject that, you need to configure the XRV to accept the IPv6 address family. Actually, let me skip that and let me show you how to inject the flow spec directly. So there's also flow spec available here, but the same thing, you need to configure the XRV to accept the flow spec address family.
Here, basically, you're manually configuring the route, correct?
Yes.
You can do this one through ODL also, through REST comms.
Yeah, through RESTConf. Yeah, we can do that. Just Here I'm just showing how to showing the details, because with RESTconf, everything is in the payload of the RESTconf. Right. So there should be nothing to show actually. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that. So let me try to inject this. So here the IPv4 flow spec is injected. Check the XRV. Hold down.
You can do show BGP unicast.
Yeah, hold down.
You have to flag the connection.
What?
You have to flag the connection.
I don't think so.
I think it's show BGP. Unicast.
No. No, it's actually this one, IPv4 flow spec. Yeah, somehow it doesn't come through.
You can check the log.
How to check it out? Log?
Well, the other thing is if in the exam, so if you show BGP neighbor on that neighbor, just to see if flow specs come up.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, do it on 10 dot, yeah. Okay, so you can address family.
Session is active state.
It's this one.
Yes, the session is not established. Active.
What's that?
Yes.
It's gone down.
It's not activated.
Yeah, carry down to the bottom then, it should say why it went down. Yeah, you keep going on. Then at the bottom of this, it should say why the last day again. Address family activated. So in ODL, when you peer config, you need to make sure you've got flow spec out. So you peer config in ODL doesn't have flow spec.
Oh, okay. Okay. Actually, something happened here. Let me restart.
Show me peer config in ODL.
Yes, down.
It should be up by default. So flow spec here, right?
That was done, okay.
Let me restart it. I have this problem before, but
Yeah, I think the restart is
yeah. Yeah, let me try that again. Delete anything, inject, then show here. Let me double check the XRP. Yeah, okay, it comes up this time. So basically this is the flow spec injected. And so in the body of the flow spec be injected is basically trying to redirect all the IPv4 traffic here. Redirect IPv4 traffic. And right now it's in the XRV. This one. Yeah. I think that's all. There's also IPv6 flow spec in Berlin. And in Boron, we also add a lot of other stuff, like the L3VPN. If you take a look at the Postman collection here, L3VPN, IPv4, IPv6, also the L3VPN flow spec. So everything, you can definitely try that with your own controller after you get back from this tutorial. Any question?
So can you just show how to refresh the Postman collection? Because if the node gets full, they have to.
Oh, yeah, sure. So first, as we are in the ODL directory, hold on. So you need to do a git pull. If you are checking that repository, the GitHub repository on your laptop from fresh, it will be fine. You can just skip this step. But then you can open this Postman client. Then there's an import button. Click, and there's import folder. Just choose folders. And in the repository, we provide a Postman collection here. So click here, upload, and if you have an existing one, simply click replace, and everything will be the latest one. The Postman collection we provide here, it has the latest open config for Boron. So basically, you can configure the BGP rib or BGP peer, or the application peer through the open config without restarting the controller to reload the XML file. So basically, you can just config here. You can see the body. You can just put application peer IP here, or the BGP rib ID, BGP local AS number, things like that. So definitely check out after you get back. And any other question? So everything is actually under this GitHub. So that is a home page, and this is docs/tutorial. So the slides is here, slides.powerpoint. And everything you need is here, and it has covered much more details and include every step we have to do in this tutorial. It actually has more information than we talked here. So if you have time, you can play with it. Yeah. Yes, that's all. Mm-hmm. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Team report.